Thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable Crafter's Companion image called With Love at Christmas. Isn't he cute? The little stamp also comes with this sentiment here, and then I think there's 4 or 5 more. This sentiment will fit on this tag, so if you want to use that one you can. If you want to use one of the others, you'll either have to stamp it inside or get a different tag to put here. I will put a link down in the description box of the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I will make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. Let's give our little guy a quick outline. For that, I'm going to start with C0. And I'm just going to start down here at the bottom of his foot and just go clear around. And I like to do this first, so in case I happen to touch him, I don't bleed my other colors out into my background. And if I get some on him, it's easy to erase with my colorless blender. And you can make your line as fat or as skinny as you want. I just kind of wing it and go around, and I don't really care how fat it is. So just go all the way around a little bit up here. And I want to make sure to get that little string. But this just makes it look like it's popping off the page a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and fill that little section in right there. Go clear around him. He's got a little patch showing right there between the fur and his hat, so make sure to get that. I'm going to do his little whiskers. And then let's go around his tail. And back down to his foot. So let's work on the rabbit. For him, we're going to use W5, 3, 1, and 00. And let's start down here on his little legs. I'm going to start with my W5, and let's do this foot over here first. So for that, I'm going to go underneath of his little leg, or his belly right here. Give it a little color right there. And then I'm going to come down the inside of his leg, and I'm going to do these little lines. And then I'm going to continue. Just a little dab right there. And then over here, I want to do a little bit right next to his foot. And do a little dab coming out away from that little corner. Then I'm going to add W3. So we want to go right over the top of that last color. And I'm going to go clear around the edge of his foot this time. And I'll bring that color out. And then I'm going to add W1. And then W00. And I'm going to do the whole rabbit twice, so I'm going to grab W5 again. And each time, the second time, I want the lines to be a little bit fatter, so I'm going to pull it out past where I had stopped the last time. And then W1. And then we'll fill it in the rest of the way with our W00. And then I really want to see these lines over here, so I'm going to take my W5 and bring those up and over a little bit. Okay, so let's hop over here and we'll do his bunny fanny and this foot here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a line underneath the rest of his belly right here. And then let's do a little dab right on the top of this foot. And then I want to go down his back. And I'm going to bring this line kind of down so there's a little space in there between his foot and his, or the bottom of his belly there. And then we're going to bring this down here to the bottom. Then we're going to add W3. So we want to go right over the top of that last color. And then we're going to add W1. And then our W00. And then we'll add our second coat. So we got W5. W3, W1, and then we'll fill it in with our W00. Let's get this little foot right here. So get your W5 and let's do a little dab down here on the bottom where it's holding the little heart. And then we'll add W3. W1. W00, and then we'll go back with our second coat, so W5, W3, W1, and then fill it in with your W00. Okay, let's do his face and this little arm right here. So grab your W5, and I'm going to start my W5 over here on his hat. I'm going to go underneath of his little hat there, and around over this way, down his back of his face, and then his arm comes over, so I'm going to give his arm just a little dab of color right here. I'm going to bring it a little bit further out. And then I want to take that line and go down this side of his arm until it touches the heart. Then we're going to add W3. So we're going to go across his hat a little bit further and go across that line at the top. And we'll bring this out more. And then we want to go down this line of his arm. And we're going to bring that color down here to where it touches the little wrinkle in the heart. Then we'll add W1. And I'm going to add a little bit of this right here underneath of his nose. And then W00. And then we'll go for our second coat. So W5. W3. I'm going to add a little dab right here in this crease of this, the little V of that heart there. Then we're going to add W1. And then we'll fill it in with our W00. And for his face here, I think I'll go with my W1 again. I'm going to brush this out just a little bit more. So let's pull this over here and go over the top of his nose a little bit. Let's do a little more dab up here. And then let's do our W00 again. Give him a little bit more shadow there above his nose. Ears. Okay, let's see here. W5. So let's do W5 right here in this crease. And then we're going to do a little dab down here at the bottom. And then for this ear, let's go right along here. And then he's got a little wrinkle right here, so I'm going to do a little bit by W5 right in that wrinkle and along the bottom here. And then I'm going to grab W3. And then W1. W00. And then we'll give it a second coat, so W5. W3. W1. I'm going to fill this bottom ear in. And we'll fill in up here to this heart. And we're going to bring this color over the top. And then we'll go over that with our W00. This little ear. So grab your W5, and for our W5 we're going to add that right up here in the crease where his ear is tipping over. And we're going to do W3. Let's bring it up here from the bottom. And this side. And let's bring this color up along the edge right here a little bit. And W1. W00. And then we'll do our second coat. So W5, W3, W1, and then our W00 to fill that the rest of the way in. For the inside of his ears, let's use W5, 3, 1, 00, and then E93, R11, and R01. So I'm going to start with my W5, and let's do a little dab up here in the corner. And then we're going to come down here, and we're going to do a little dab in this crease of his ear. And then I'm going to add W3. W1. W00. And then let's go with E93. So I'm going to put this up where I had my darkest colors. So W5 and W3. And then we'll do R11. And then R01. And then I'm going to take my W00 and I'm just going to swipe over the entire inner ear. So for this ear over here, let's again grab W5. We're going to do a little bit over here in this corner. And then down here at the bottom, let's do a little slash like that. Then we'll add our W3. W1. W00. And for our pink, we'll do E93. R11. R01. And then with our W00, we're going to go across the entire intersection. We want to fill in this entire area. And for his little nose, we're going to use W7. So for that, I'm just going to go a little dab. It's pretty small, so I'm going to just dab my pen up and down a little bit. And I left a little white dot there at the top of his nose. For his tail, let's use W3100 on our colorless blender. I'm going to start with my W3, and I'm just going to do some little dots. So I'm going to dot really close to his body here and underneath of that tag. And then over here, we're going to do close to the tag and then close to his body. There's a few little dots there. And then we'll do W1. So same thing, we're just going to dot, dot, dot. And then W00. And I tend to go over the darker colors too with my lightest one. And then I'm going to take my colorless blender and I'm just going to wipe over his entire tail and blend those a little bit more. But I think I'll go back with my W3 again and do just a few more. And then I'll leave it. And for this cute little tag right here, we're going to use E31 and 30. So I'm going to do E31 first. And then I'm going to fill it in with my E30. And I'm going to go back with E31 and just give that a little bit more dark. And then again with our E30 to soften that edge. Let's do the fur and the little pom-pom on his hat next. For that, we're going to use C1000 in our colorless blender. I'm going to start with my C1. And let's do a little bit of that over here on this pom-pom that's closest to the fur. And then for his fur on his hat, let's do right along the bottom. I'm just going up and down, making some dots. The faster you go, the smaller your dots will be. The slower you go, the fatter your dots will be. And then we're going to add C0. And you want to add those up further and then down into the dots you already made. And then we'll add some C00. And again, I'm adding these two up in the white spots that I have left and then down on top of the other dots. And that will kind of smush the other dots and soften them. And then I'm going to take my colorless blender and just wipe over the entire area. And then I'm going to go back with my C1 and add some of those darker dots back in. And then I won't blend those. Let's do the tops of these ornaments next. For that, we're going to use Y28 and 23. I'm going to go with Y28 first. And I'm just going to do a little bit of that on this side of the ornament top. And then we'll fill it in with our Y23. Nothing too fancy. And then for this little ornament up here, for the body of the ornament, we're going to use E000 and then E000. So I'm going to do my E000 first. And if you go over those little holly things, leaves, it's not going to matter because we're going to color those really dark green. So if you get some on there, don't stress about it. And then I'm going to fill in the rest with my E000. And then for the holly, let's do YG99. And they're pretty dinky, so I'm just using the very tip of my pen and kind of dabbing it on there. I don't want to smush it too much because it will go outside the lines. And then for the little dots, let's do Y28. Let's do his hat next. For that, we're going to use R59, 46, 27, and 24. And we're going to start with R59. And let's do that right up next to his ear, here in the front. And then we're going to bring this down and around a little bit. And kind of do a little small line here across the top of his fur. And then I'm going to go under his ear because there's a little patch of hat showing right there. And let's go clear back along the fur on this one. And then I want to do on this side of his ear. And then for the back, let's do his hat up here like so. And right here it kind of bends, so I'm going to do a little line right here, give it a wrinkle. And then we're going to go each of these wrinkles and fill in this little dabby section right there. Then we're going to go with R46. So let's touch down on top of your R59 and just bring this out a little bit. And same for the back. And then we're going to add some R27. And then we'll do the back, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in this little section right here. And then let's add a little bit up here. And then R24. And then like the rabbit, I want to give it a second coat. So let's go with R59. And I'm going to bring my R59 out just a little bit more there along that hat. And then we'll do our 46. I'm going to fill in this back part of his hat. And then R27. And then lastly, we'll fill it in with our R24. And I like to use the last color to go over the entire area. So I'm just going to swipe over all the colors I already did. And then I'm going to go back with my R59. And I'm going to add these little wrinkles for the hat back in there. And let's go along the bottom of his hat too. That leaves us with the hearts. For that, we're going to use R59, 46, 27, 24, and we're going to add R22. So let's start on this huge heart first. So I'm going to do my R59 first. So let's go, I'm going to go up here. So let's do it right along here. I want to go around his arm. And I'm going to leave those little dots white, so I'm going to try not to touch those. Back over here. And then I want it to go down. And we're going to give this one a second coat too, so I'm not worried about how thick I'm getting the line. I just want to get it away from this edge so I don't touch my little rabbit with my red, because it's really dark. Okay, and then over here, let's do down a little dab, and then we're going to go around his foot. And let's bring this line here a little bit, and then I'm going to give it a little wrinkle right here. Then we're going to add R46. So let's go right over the top of our R59. We're going to bring this out. But be careful around those little circles. Better go around this one. Whoops, I colored that one right a little bit. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get that out later. I'll try going carefully around that one. And then we're going to bring this up here, and let's do this side. And I'm going to connect it down here at the bottom. Let's do a little bit more right here. Then we want to add R27. I think I'll go around this dot. Around and back down to the side. And then I'm going to add some R24. Same for this side. And let's do a little dab up here around this little heart, or that little circle. And then we want to do R22. It's looking pretty horrible. So let's do a second coat. So let's do R59. And let's start up here at the top. Go around that one. And then we're going to bring this down along his little paw. And then down here at the bottom, we want to brush out a little bit more. And then the same for this side over here. Then we want to add R46. I forgot what I was going to say there. And then we'll add R27. And then R24. And then we're going to go with R22. And for R22, I want to swipe across the entire area. So I'm going to go clear up here at the top. I'm going to bring that color down across our little heart. And back across this little pink section here. Let's hop up here and do this last ornament. So we're going to start with R59. And for this, let's do, I'm not going to go clear to the edge, so I'm going to bring my pin along here. And we're going to come down like this. And then we're going to add a little bit of our R46. And we want to go right along this color we just put on there. So we want to go right next to the R59. Then we're going to add R27. This time I want to add some to the back. And R24. And I want to fill in back here. And then same for this side. Let's fill in over here. I'm going to go clear across. And then up here, I want to leave a little white, like highlight right here. Well, it's going to be light pink, but I want to leave it right here. So I'm going to go right. Kind of give it a little curve right there because I'm going to leave it white in there. Then I'm going to add R22. So same thing, let's go right along the edge. Then we want to do the whole thing over, so let's grab R59. I draw my little line there. And then I want to flick away from that little line. And then we're going to add R46. And I think I'll go around the back side with this. And then R27. I'm going to go ahead and go around the back side with this. And R24. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit here. I want it to be like kind of a little quarter moon there. And then I'm going to go over the entire area with my R22. I'm going to swipe clear across the whole thing. Then I'm going to take my colorless blender and that cute little half circle right here. I'm just going to go over it. That to make it a little more prominent. Lastly, let's give him something to stand on. For that, we're going to use W3, 1, and 00. I'm going to start with my W3. And let's start up here. And I'm going to add W1. And then W00. And I'm going to go over all that gray I just put down. And then I'm going to go back with my W3 and add those darks back in a little bit. So there's our adorable With Love at Christmas all colored up. Isn't he cute? Then again, here's my finished card. And on my finished card, I added my Spectrum Noir Sparkle Clear Glitter Overlay to this little heart. It's very sparkly. And then down here to these little dots, I put some Stickle Stardust on those. So it adds a little bumps and sparkles to those. And then you got the little tag, and I kind of left it free up here at the top, but nothing on the card is popped up this time. It's completely flat. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.